For the Necro Settlers League, I wanted to try a cast on crit build, but I didn't want to use Cyclone. I saw that people were also using an assassin build with a combination of Lancing Steel of Spraying and Soulrend of Reaping, so I decided to try it out instead. I'm going to go through a very brief overview of this build, show some clear speed examples, and then end with a Maven fight. I didn't get to spend that long using this build, so there's definitely room for improvement. First off, I played in Trade League, but I only used the currency market just to see where I could get without having to trade with other players. I used Mathel's Affliction League build as a guide for the passive skill tree as well. I probably wouldn't try to play this build in SSF unless you already have some of the uniques from another character or something. Another thing about this build is that it is very squishy. I haven't figured out the defenses very well. If you're good at dodging, which I am not, you should be fine. So for the campaign, I started with Cobra Lash as my main skill. Once you get a 4-link, you can go into Cast on Crit mode, the Soulrend, and increased critical strikes. With a 5-link, I'd add either Void Manipulation or added Chaos damage, and I found that this setup works fine for clearing until maybe yellow maps or so. I farmed for Lancing Steel of Spraying and Soulrend of Reaping in Cruel and Merciless Labs. I alternated between the two to try to alleviate the boredom of farming the Labyrinth. Equipment-wise, you should aim to get Asenath's Gentle Touch as soon as possible. Without it, clearing in certain maps, especially reds, feels pretty terrible. If it doesn't drop for you, you can always get it by buying Gift of Asenath Divination cards instead. In maps, I wouldn't switch to Soulrend of Reaping until you get Asenath's Gentle Touch because of the corpse explosions. Lancing Steel of Spraying at 20% quality gives you 10 projectiles. Unless I'm mistaken, each of those projectiles can crit, which can potentially lead to a bunch of Soulrend casting if you have the mana. To generate Frenzy charges, combine Mark on Hit with Poacher's Mark. Just remember this will only work on rares and unique monsters. Frenzy charges will convert to Affliction charges once you get Alessia's Delight, which will further increase your DPS. Denderbait is a fairly common unique you can use until you get a Covenant. With Asenath's Gentle Touch and a 6-linked Denderbait, I could take down Maven. Including Alessia's Delight, I also was able to take down Uber Elder. With Anathema, Ralakesh's Impatience, and Replica Badge of the Brotherhood, along with some good jewels, maybe Ubers are viable, but I didn't get those uniques, so I can't say firsthand. Also, I didn't get a chance to try any tier 17s. So that's the build, and I'll leave you with some examples of clear speed, ending with a Maven fight.